Hello friends, welcome to C Sharp Intermediate to Advanced tutorial. In this video, we are going to see how to add or remove controls dynamically to the panel. That means we will use add label to panel and remove label from panel. We will use these two buttons to add or remove controls inside this panel. So this will help you to understand how to add or remove controls dynamically inside this panel. So in the previous video, we implemented a docking capability. Now we will go for adding the controls dynamically to C# panels. So first we will declare two integer variable. This will specify the location of the control that we are going to add newly to the C# panel. So if you see here, this is the panel container. So this one is the form and this one is the panel container, and it contains a design time sample label. So we will use this design time sample label as a reference label. So from this reference label, if you see, we are getting the location X and location Y. So we use the location X property, location property. From there we will get the X coordinate and Y coordinate value. Then we will store that and in location X and location Y. So location X, that means location property. Here also it's location property. From there we will get X and Y coordinate. So what actually this will give, this will be the label and this will be our panel. So from panel we will get X and Y location. So this is 0 from here. So this will be the origin from here. So this one will be X and this one will be the Y from the origin. So this is the sample label. X and Y is here. X comma Y coordinate. So from location property we are getting that and we are storing it. So once again, this will be the origin 0 comma 0. From there we will, so let's say that this is the label. From there we will get the X and Y value in the Cartesian coordinate, X comma Y value. So that locates where this label is inside this panel. So from panel 0 0, this label is at X comma Y location. So that we store here under location X and location Y. So once X and Y locations are saved, if you see here, our goal is to add control dynamically. For adding the control dynamically, we need X and Y coordinate. So that's why we are using that reference label. A reference label is the design time label. Here, if you see, we are constructing a new label. Why? Because we are going to add this label to our panel. So location Y, if you see, we are using the reference label. So after constructing the new label, if you see, we are getting the current location of location Y. Then we use the label reference height. Then we are adding a plus 11. So this will decide the location Y. Say for example, this is our label, and here we specify X and Y. So let's consider a box here. So this will be the label. So this portion decides X and Y location where this label is starting. So when we add a new label, what we are doing, this is the Y, right? So this one is the origin of our panel 0, 0, this one. From here, this is the reference label location Y. So current location, we may be, by this time we have this current location Y here. So that we are taking, so we will cover up this distance. Then label reference dot height. So this labels height. So we will cover up the, so from here you can see how we are covering the distance. So this is the location Y. Let's state this as A1. So A1 we covered here. Then reference label dot height. So the label height is A2. After that we are adding 11. So this one is some tolerance for the next label. So this just we are fixing some constant. This one is 11. We are fixing it. So now our location Y for the new label is here. So location Y is now decided. Location X we will still use the same way because we are going to add all our label vertically. So from here the X will not change but Y will change. So this is how we calculate our Y. At present A1 is here. So this step is covered. Next, if you see LBL location equal to new point of location X. Location X we are not changing anything. Location Y is calculated as shown here. Next, we are specifying the size for our label. So we make use of our reference label width as well as height. So whatever is the width here, we are taking the same width for our new label. Height, we are taking the same height. So now the size and location for the new label is ready. Let's say that this is our panel. We already have a label here, this one. Next, we located the point. If you see here, new point, LBL dot location equal to new point, location X, location Y. Location Y was calculated like this, and this is how we provided the location. So the location is here. After that, for the new label, we are providing the size. Size is nothing but whatever is the size of this label, we are giving the same. That means the same width, same height. So now, since the location is decided, when we add, the next label will takes place in this location. So we will update this location Y also, so that next time when you calculate, it will location Y, it will start from here. Then this label's height. After that, some tolerance. This is that 11. So now size and position for the new label is decided. So after that, we are checking our pan top pan dot auto scroll is checked true or not. So at this moment we haven't yet implemented the auto scroll behavior. So this will come handy once you implement the auto scroll, but anyhow let us have a look at it. So first we are checking whether auto scroll is checked or not. So if auto scroll is checked, there is a option for auto scroll, right? In our example, there will be two group box. One is here and another one is here. This is for auto size, and this group box is for auto scroll. Here we will have that checkbox auto scroll. After that we will have width and height. So we are checking that checkbox is checked. So if that is checked, that means auto scroll is enabled for our panel. So in that case, instead of avoiding the offset and other stuff, what we are doing, we are just turning off the auto scroll. Then we are setting the text for our label. Then location y.toString, we are converting the y location and we are giving that to our label. Then pan top pan dot auto scroll equal to true, we are setting the auto scroll to true. So here we are turning off the scroll and then we are turning it on here, so that we will get a correct location y here. Here we are reading the location y, right? So LBL text equal to location y.toString. So in the label text we are setting where is the location of the newly added control. Location y only we are printing in the label text. We will see this when we are implementing the application. So otherwise we are simply setting the informative text. So if auto scroll is not turned on. So this one is important. If you see here in the previous slide, we already created the label control. Now pan top pan, this is nothing but our panel control. Panel control maintains a collection. So the collection is a control collection. So to the control collection, we are making call to the add method and we are giving our newly created label here. So for this label only, we calculated the size and position in the previous slide. So if you see, we need to first calculate the where do we want to locate our newly added label. So that's what we decided. So here for label, we are setting the location property, then size property. So when you come to the next slide, here we are adding the new label control. And when we add the new label control, it will go and so this will be our reference label or design time label. When you add a new label, it will go and sit here. And when you add one more label, it will go and sit here. Likewise, it will get added. All right, now it's demo time. Let's see how it works. So here is our example. Now we are going to implement add label to panel. So I'm double clicking this so that it will generate the click event for that btn add label. So that's the button. So after this initialize component, so do not worry about the code snippet 2, 3 and 4. We will do that in the next coming video. First we implemented docking. Now we are trying to add controls dynamically. So this is location X and location Y. So actually this should be a class level. It should not be in the constructor. So now it becomes a member of this panel, location X and location Y. If I go to class view, you can see that. So can see these two members, location underscore X, location underscore Y. So when form is initially loaded, we are taking the location from our reference label, design time label. So this is our design time label. So you can see this as a LBL reference. That's what we are referring here. Reference label. From there we are accessing the location property, and from that location property we are getting X and Y. You see here X and Y, we are accessing it. So location is just a property. All right. So now we have our initial location X and Y in a member variable. So when we keep on adding the label controls, this location Y will get changed. So we saw in the PowerPoint slide how we calculate this reference Y, I mean the location Y. Now inside the button click handler, you can see here we actually create the new label, then we will decide the location Y. Then for the label control, we set the location and size property. After that, this was also already explained in the PowerPoint slide. Finally, we are adding the label to the control. So here this label.txt, so which is nothing but the new label here we are creating. For that we are setting the text. So if you see new label is created, then we set its location property, then we set its size property. These two will decide where the new label will be located and what is its width and height. Also we will decide its text. So to get a proper Y location, we are turning off the auto scroll if it is enabled. After that we are resetting it back to the original. That means the auto scroll is turned on. First we turn off, we get the Y location, then we turn it on. So if auto scroll is not enabled, then we simply read location Y and we assign it to the label text. Now it's time to test how this add label works. So you can see label 41. 41 is nothing but its Y position. Next it shows a label 73, 105, 137. Now if I click again, so you can see by default our panel is accommodating file label. When I click once again, it created a label and it added that also, but it will be here and that is hidden, and there is no way to see that label, right? I can click even multiple times, so it will create all the label, but those are all hidden behind this panel, because a panel's visible area is only this, but those labels are added here in the hidden portion. So that's where we can use auto scroll as well as auto size, so that we will implement in the next coming video. Now we will move on to remove label from a panel. You can see that we added these 4 labels, of course 6, I guess 6 or 7, I don't know how many times I clicked. So all those labels we added dynamically. Okay, now we will go ahead and implement remove label from panel. Let me double click this. Before that we will go to our PowerPoint slide. So just now you saw how to add label dynamically to our example. Now demo also we saw. Now we will see how to remove control from our label, I mean panel. Now let's assume that we have a panel. Let's state that this is our default design time label, and we will also assume we added one label dynamically. After that we once again click the add label. So when we click remove label, we want to remove the lastly added label. So by this time, let's state that we have 3 label, and if you see, this will be this is our panel, right? From here we get our location y, location underscore y, and so x will be same for all the label we already saw. So from this origin, this will be our location x. So if at present this is the location y, so we want to remove this label. So if we remove this label, we want to shift the location y here. So previously the location y, that means when you add a new control it comes, but now we want to shift our location y here. So this completes the remove operation. Why we are shifting this location y? Because once we remove this control and when user clicks add button again, it will calculate the location y again, right? When it calculates the location y, we know how it calculates the location y. So it takes the location y plus it will add the width of the reference label. So the width will be same. That means we will come here, then it will add that 11. Then we will come here. So when we add a newly, so that means we need to set location y here after we remove it. So that's what we are doing here. First we are checking if panel top pan controls.count equal to 0, return. Otherwise what we are doing, control collection. So control collection is the collection. So here if you see pan top pan dot controls, so we already used this control collection when we are adding the new control. So we already tested the add label to panel, that button, right? So click event we already handled, and in that we added a control using pan top pan dot controls dot add, then we passed our newly created label. So here first we are taking this to a variable. Actually this step is not required, we can directly make use of it, but here you can know what is the type, all those stuff, control collection. So control collection is maintained by our panel, and we are holding that reference here, controls in panel. Then we make a call to remove at method, and then we pass the index number, which is nothing but controls count. Here it will be 3 minus 1 2. That means here are the index 0 1 2. So that means control count is 3 minus 1 2. We want to remove the last control in the panel. So this is the last control. Okay, so this will remove the control, but this is our logical reference variable, right? So we reset this location y. So what we are doing, location y minus, so this is our location y minus this label height, then this tolerance. That means from here it moves and sits here. So this will be our new location y. Now let's go for our second demo and implement the remove method. So now I double clicked that, and we have the click event handler for the remove button click. Now I added the code. So when there is no control, we are simply returning it. Otherwise we are removing the control. So these codes are already explained in the slide. Now let's directly go and test it. So first we will add some control. So here I added 4 control. Now let me remove one by one, and let me re-add it. So you can see how it works. So now, just now you saw how we are adding the labels dynamically to our panel. So the first label is the design time label. We added it while creating the form, but these labels we are adding dynamically when we click the button. And similarly, when we remove the button based on the index location, we are removing the controls from the panel. So the key here is every container control maintains a control collection, and you can see here in the tooltip. So controls. Here control represents our panel. Controls is the property, which is nothing but control collection. So this is the type. So here these are two methods. Add method will add a control to our panel. Remove what will remove a specific control at a specific index location. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.